Hi, welcome to Purpose Driven Church for Unificationists. We are on day 37. We're looking at the section called Jesus Related Truth to Life. And if you remember from the last couple of videos, Rick Warren is looking at Jesus' ministry in the Bible, and we're looking at examples of how Jesus taught, and how Jesus attracted crowds. And he talks about how Jesus really addressed people's needs and concerns in the moment, and he really spoke to them in ways that they could understand, in ways that were interesting to them. He used stories and unique ways of conveying truth, and he reached out to people that other people would have deemed as lower or second class people or something like that. So even though Jesus' ministry was very short, the Bible does talk about how people really loved coming and listening to Jesus. So this section continues that and talks about how Jesus related truth to life. He says, I love the practicality and simplicity of Jesus' teaching. It was clear, relevant, applicable. He aimed for application because his goal was to transform people, not merely to inform them. A lot of preaching is what I call ain't it awful preaching. It just complains about our society and makes judgments about people in general. It is long on diagnosis and short on remedy. This kind of preaching may make Christians feel superior or religious people feel superior to those out there, but it rarely changes anything. When I go to the doctor, I don't want to just hear what's wrong with me. I want him or her to give me some specific steps to getting better. What people need today are fewer ought to sermons and more how to sermons. Some pastors criticize life application preaching as shallow, simplistic, and inferior. To them, the only real preaching is didactic, doctrinal preaching. We get some of that too. I mean, it's kind of interesting because we try to do a lot of life application sermons, but sometimes people feel like they're not deep enough or they're not um, meaningful enough, and it's kind of. I mean, I don't think that's true, but I know that some people feel that way. He says, the deepest kind of teaching is that which makes a difference in people's day-to-day lives. Our goal is Christ-like character. So I really like that section because he really kind of points, what is the purpose? What is the purpose of not just Sunday service, but church in general? It makes a difference in people's day-to-day lives. It helps us to become people that more closely resemble God and a principled character and create healthy families, which is ultimately what we're trying to accomplish in our lives. So he says Christianity is a life, not a religion, and Jesus was a life application preacher. When he finished his teaching to the crowd, he always wanted them to go and do likewise. Sermons that teach people how to live will never lack an audience. Please understand, the unchurched are not asking that we change the message or even dilute it. They want only that we show its relevance. Their big question is, so what? They want to know what difference our message makes. I found that the unchurched in America are very interested in doctrine, Bible doctrine, when it is applied in practical and relevant ways in their life. For me, it is challenging and enjoyable to teach theology to the unchurched without telling them it is theology and without using theological terms. You don't have to transform the message of the Bible, but you do have to translate it in terms that your unchurched will understand. And I think the point here is that if we really understand the truth and we really understand the divine principle and true parents' lifestyle, then we should be able to convey it in a way that is inspiring and uplifting and meaningful to people. It can help transform their lives and help them to live a more meaningful life. And I think that when people see that, then naturally it's attractive to them because everybody's dealing with things in their life, whether it's relationship with their spouse, relationship with their kids, relationship with their parents, relationship with God, dealing with issues within myself or in my job, or all these different kind of things. Everyone's dealing with different things. We live in a crazy world. And so people are looking for answers. If we can show them the answers to their concerns and their issues and relate that to this truth, then people want to learn more about the truth. But if we just talk about the truth, then and not necessarily relating it in a way that they can understand and apply to their life, then then many times they won't be interested. So I think this is a great lesson for us in our movement to be able to really take this kind of thing to heart. Our truth, the divine principle, and the Bible and true parents teaching really does relate to people's lives, but many times in teaching it, we don't convey that. And that is really unfortunate. And I think that as anybody who's teaching the principle, whether it's a pastor or whatever, this is a challenge that we need to take on. The idea that we need to take these concepts and these theological understanding and translate it into a way that people can resonate with and can and something that people want to hear and are attracted to. Because it's only in that way are they going to really open their hearts to be able to hear it in the new way and apply it to their lives. So that's about all I have to say for this chapter, this section. So thanks a lot and see you tomorrow.